Um, Short talk on evidence-based medicine and what I think about it. Now, evidence-based medicine is one of the holy cows of modern medicine, and you're not supposed to, speak up against it. But there's problems with it. Evidence-based medicine is good as long as you have evidence, but it's questionable as to what is evidence and what's not. So, if um, the way I look at evidence-based medicine is that it's like seeing a court case being conducted, right? And the judge is there, the jury is there, and there's lawyers on both sides, and then you've got the expert witnesses who are called in to talk about their opinion. And these expert witnesses will do their study, and they'll look at the case, and they'll give an opinion, and then it depends on how the lawyers interpret it to the judge and the jury, and finally a judgment is made, and the law takes its course. So the expert witnesses that we are talking about in a court, that role is played by researchers, and so researchers and expert witnesses are both human, and they are susceptible to errors, and they're susceptible to bribery, and they're susceptible to corruption. So that's why that's the first point of failure. The second point of failure is the lawyer or the lawyers, both sides. So you might have an expert witness who's done a really good job, but if you've got a lawyer that's really smart or really incompetent, the case goes either way. So that's the second point of failure. Third point of failure is the judge, and the role of the judge is being taken by the government and the legislative bodies or the administrative bodies that decide what sort of treatment or procedure or modality that you use for treating your health. And so that's another point of failure, because that's human too, and those people can be convinced, swayed, persuaded, coerced, or bribed. So that's where evidence-based medicine is. So the law of the land is what is applied across the country or across the world or wherever, but there is some individual autonomy that you are allowed to have in this world. So the government or the medical bodies are going to tell you to do something, but ultimately whether you do it or not in the privacy of your own home or in your life will depend on what you think about the particular issue. So again, I'll go back to that legal aspect of things. You'll see the lots of these sensational cases that show up on media. You know who the criminal is. The criminal's been caught red-handed, um, but he doesn't get punished. He gets carted off to jail. Um, then they examine the evidence, and the evidence is kind of suspect. And then the lawyers come in, and the expert witnesses come in, and the judge comes in, and the judge and the political parties weigh in, and after the end of all of that, um, this criminal that you know has done something barbaric walks away scot free. So this is how the legal system works, and this is how the medical system, the laws of medicine work too. So when it comes to evidence based medicine, you will have to make your own judgment on whether what they're telling is true or not. You will have to make sure that the laws passed down by the judge apply in your own home. You will have to make sure that the laws passed down by the medical administrative bodies apply to your own home, to your own body, to your own family. So this is my general talk about evidence based medicine. This can apply to any facet of treatment, any facet of health or evidence based medicine or whatever. It's not just about one particular topic that most people will immediately assume that I'm talking about. For example, this could apply to the microbiome. So each case is different. You can't expect to have a particular microbe, consume a particular microbe, and have the exact same effect that you'll get in another person's body, because the microbe that you consume as a probiotic is going to then interact with your system. It's going to interact with other microbes in your system. It's going to interact with the food that you consume. It's going to interact with your lifestyle, your hormonal environment, your exercise environment, the amount of water you drink, the time you sleep. And it finally produces a result after interacting with all of these factors. And that's how you produce a unique response. Each microbe that you consume, or each microbe that lives inside of you, produces a unique response in your body. Broadly, you might be able to predict what's going to happen, but if you need to make a perfectly unique prescription for someone, you're going to have to do it yourself. You're not going to be able to do it with by following the rules set by somebody sitting 5,000 miles away, um, because their experience is different, their body is different, the way they think is different. Uh, so you can use those guidelines and laws to give you an idea on how to move forward, but accepting it as gospel turns science into religion. It's not, science is not religion. So evidence based medicine can guide you, but it's not gospel. Thank you. If you've got any questions, please post them in the comments.